Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good.
Uh,
Go ahead.
did you make top 64 by the way?
I did not, unfortunately.
Uh,
Yeah.
was it
I lost
TRT?
to the real thing and then B-Bats, the Peach player.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
How'd
really
you feel about it
stacked.
though? How'd you feel about your performance overall?
I was pretty disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
Not even so much like just losing, just like mentality was not there that day.
Yeah,
And
oh,
and
go
a
ahead.
like broader issue with me recently has been like preparation for tournaments.
hmm
Like I just like got home from work at 5:15, so like 45 minutes before the tournament started, and then I like didn't warm up properly even with that 45 minutes,
hmm
and I hadn't slept the night before, and it's just like a lot of outside of the game issues that I feel like have been holding me back. So I just need to work on those.
Yeah, I'm also fairly disappointed with myself as well
Mm-hmm.
from TBO. But like for me, it was just that I don't mind like losing right now because I just to give you some background. I've been playing Melee like wave dashing since like 2016, but
Okay.
I never really took the game seriously until 2019 because I was living in DC for a little bit. So I just went to Xanadu a bunch of times and met some really
Right.
cool people, and I was playing a lot of Anthers, but I didn't like start like solo practicing until then. Also, am I a little quiet to you, or am I good?
You sound good on my end.
Okay. Um, I've only ever really played Falco, and I only because whenever I try playing anyone else, it's just like miserable. Like Marth is just though I hate the feel of Marth after playing Falco. Uh, but yeah, I don't really mind getting stomped, but I had all day to warm up and practice, and I was just playing unranked.
Mm-hmm.
But like then like at 5 or something, I just got into a game of League for no reason. I really just I don't mind the outcome of the tournaments. I just felt like my replays that I had weren't really great. I made a lot of technical flubs that uh weren't that really helpful in like for VOD review because it just felt like the mistakes were obvious. I just wasn't playing the game. I
Okay.
looked like a super novice. So I included
Gotcha.
some games from Pog because I think there was the Falcon games in there would be really good.
Okay,
But
we
also
can go over those.
yeah. So the first games I played against in TBO yesterday was against a Marth. Um, and there's I as soon as I got into this game with the Marth, I was just like, oh yeah, like I can just like I felt it and I was like, okay, I'm definitely just better than this guy. So I can just autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I autopiloted and I took it to game 3, which I really just didn't have to. I feel like that would also be like a good game to go over, just like how do I just like stomp this guy? Because I felt it like immediately. I was like, okay, like I
So
can
you
rub
said
the
that
air
was
this guy.
the Marth one?
Yeah,
You could have
yeah,
just
the big one.
stomped him.
Yeah, I know I just should have been able to beat him.
Okay,
But
did you
then
have
my
a
next
preference over Falcon or Marth?
um, let's do the Falcon game actually.
Okay.
I think.
If we if it feels like your issues are kind of simple in the Falcon, we can go to the Marth after.
hmm
So we'll just have to play it by ear.
Okay. Also, I just have I got stomped by this Pichu. If I beat this Pichu yesterday, I would have played against Wizzy, which I really wanted to do. But then I saw it was a Pichu, and I was like, I have no idea how to play against
Is
Pichu.
that Code Man?
Yeah, it was
Okay,
Codeman.
yeah. I think he's
So
actually pretty good.
yeah, so as soon as I saw him move, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of just lost this. This guy just one knows this matchup way better than I do, but two, just like I saw him move, and I was like, oh, that's scary. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
so I
actually,
think for if you run into matchups that you're unfamiliar with, the easiest thing you can do to like improve your chances is to know what characters are similar. So like
Mhm.
obviously Pichu's similar to Pikachu. So if
Right.
you have any Pikachu experience, immediately you want to be thinking like, okay, how is this character similar to Pikachu?
Mhm.
Um, and then you can also think like, let me think. Like maybe oh, Pichu's tech rolls are like really short and bad. It's kind of like Game and Watch and Jigglypuff. So finding similarities like that will help you like transfer over options between matchups.
So when you say that their tech rolls are really bad, is it just, they're really laggy or they're really short?
They're really short, and they're
Okay,
all
so-
really light. So like, you can find similarities like that in Melee where a character fits a certain archetype. So another obvious one is Marth and Sheik. They're both really dash dance heavy, or like they're looking to whiff punish you with grabs and stuff. So a lot of the stuff I talk about in the Sheik matchup comes up in the Marth matchup as well.
Okay.
So whenever you're facing a matchup like that where you have way less experience, I find that that's the best way to give yourself at least a decent chance.
Okay.
Or like
Gotcha.
maybe you play, maybe you have like decent amount of experience versus Luigi, and then you play a Mario. Well, you can like kind of know how to deal with wave dash down smash, for example. So those things can really add up over the course of the game, even if it's just like avoiding like the hardest openings that they're going to throw out. And then you have a little more time to feel them out.
Gotcha.
So like versus Pichu, if you're like going into that Pichu set thinking, wow, I'm really uncomfortable, I don't know what I'm doing, well, just try camping him out for a bit and see what happens. Like, give yourself some time to feel him out, you know? Because that's a matchup where you would probably know, like, oh, I can just zone out this character because they have no range. So, and they're like, if I'm on a platform, what are they going to do? Up air me? So if you think of the limitations like that, you can play around them until you get a sense for what they're actually going for. So then maybe you like platform camp and run around and shield and just like do defensive zoning for the first 20, 30 seconds. And then you get a sense like, oh, he's naring at me in this way, or he's looking for grabs. And you can just identify what they're actually going for and start playing from there.
Okay. Yeah, that's really pretty helpful. It took me a while to realize this. I was watching Mango coach
Scar?
Bobby Scar, and he was just like, you just don't have to go in all the time. You can just sit there, like run up and shield. And I was like, I always knew that, but I never just like thought it and like acted on that.
Proactive shielding is really hard because you feel like, well, if I'm able to move forward, I should just attack.
Right.
But it's a nuanced decision making, I think.
Yeah. But do you want to just go ahead and jump into game one?
Yeah, sure.
The Falcon.
I'll be.
So are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm screen sharing. Let me know when you can see my mouse moving.
Yep, I see you.
Awesome. Okay. I'll just watch a bit just to get a feel.
Gotcha.
Do you have snapback on your controller?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. We'll take that into account. Not bad so far.
Yeah, this is my downfall. Like, not this game. Just, I think I do pretty well against him, and I end up losing the set because of this. Because I was just like, oh, okay, let's go. Like, I got very complacent.
Oh, gotcha.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
I haven't watched this game in a while.
Do you have a local scene? Like, are you near other people?
Oh, I live in South Carolina, so no.
Okay.
Like, Slippy was like a godsend.
Gotcha. I just asked because you could get someone to help you with the snapback capacitor.
Okay.
If you're mechanically inclined, maybe you could figure out how to do it yourself. I think you need a solder.
Okay. Yeah, I might. So I'm moving to San Francisco in like a month, so I might be able to find.
Yeah, you should definitely be able to
getting
find
a soldering iron just because I don't want to have extra stuff in my house before I
Sure.
move. But,
Yeah. It makes a world of difference. you can't play Falco nearly as cleanly on a snapback controller. The other option is just buy an older controller. The older models don't snap back as much.
Yeah, I think this is it. This is like a Ultimate controller. No, it was a Smash 4 controller. that I honestly have only used the same controller for like the last like 5.5 years, which I should probably switch off now because like the entire like.
You've been using this controller for 5.5 years?
Yeah.
That's crazy. It still has snapback.
Oh really? Does snapback go away over time?
I kind of assumed it did. I
Huh.
I guess it doesn't. Because like I knew the older controllers had less snapback. I assumed it was because they were actually physically older.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they actually just changed how it works.
Yeah, and then I got some new ones, some Ultimate controllers, and they're so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that I think I might just go in on like a $300 controller for once, just because I've been using the same like kind of crappy controllers for a while.
This game doesn't actually look too bad. We might go to the next one instead, unless you lose this game somehow. Yeah, like obviously there's some mistakes, but I don't want to nitpick a good game. So like the biggest thing against Falcon is obviously just getting your laser out, which is what you're doing, and I think that's why you're finding success in this game. You're like focused on the lasers and then also anti-airing him at the right times. Oh, you should. Okay, so I'll talk about this because so edge guarding Falcon. Something to keep in mind is when he does his pullback, that's like the only mix-up he has, right? Is the drift. So at the peak of his jump is around when he can start drifting. Like if he does an up B forward, he can't really pull back until this highest point of his arc. So what you want to do is attack there. So you can see if you were on stage and then you full hop, double jump back air, you could actually hit this. Because Falco's just ridiculous.
Gotcha.
This is one situation where Fox's full hop is actually worse than Falco's. Because you're able to hit this.
Okay. Yeah.
But
So
you can
I
see,
think in general, I think there I just hold ledge, just mainly because it's kind of disrespectful. I love holding ledge and having them like mix up and try to get a ledge off of up B.
right.
But also, I was pretty far ahead. I think here, I tried to back air off of ledge, but just to,
Yeah,
like,
that
end it
might have
quickly.
honestly been snapback too if you tried to go this way. But yeah, if you stay on stage and hit it high, you don't have to worry about this mix-up or like timing the back air. The other option would just be stand on ledge and just F smash the ledge. So you could have done that as well because you can see like you could have reacted to him going on stage, and then you just dash past back air and repeat.
Okay.
But definitely the best would be to go out there, and even if you somehow miss, or like let's say he starts his up B in a way where he avoids your back air, like he starts from further away and you mistime it, you're going to come back to the stage anyway.
Gotcha.
So you would still get the same back air opportunity, even if you completely botched the high edge guard. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't bad at all.
Then I think, tell me if I'm wrong, but do you want to go to like FD here? Like, is FD like the best stage against Falcon?
I think FD is the best stage, but really it should just be based on what you think and your play style.
Yeah, I typically just always, unless it's against a Marth, I always just ban Fountain of Dreams because I hate Fountain. I hate laser, trying to laser and like move around the platforms.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a really common thing. I actually advocate for people to like solo practice on FOD a lot because it like gives you a little bit of everything. And I think what happens in a lot of sets is, so whoever's uncomfortable, if both players are uncomfortable on FOD, like you're kind of just striking FOD in like a game of chicken, right? Where like neither of you wants to go there. If you can get to the point where like you're at least comfortable on FOD or maybe even prefer it, and like you feel like you're better than the average person on it, then you don't have to strike FOD anymore, and it actually makes striking like seem way more favorable in your favor. Like, just something to think about. And I just got comfortable just by practicing on it all the time, and like knowing exactly when the platforms are low enough that you'll land and when they're high enough that you can laser underneath.
Mhm.
So if you get comfortable with all that, there's often like no objective reason to dislike it. Is what I find.
Okay.
Like a lot of the reasons people give me for why they don't like it are due to lack of knowledge or like not being experienced with the stage.
Is the main thing to get comfortable with on FOD just like being able to like laser shield drop really smoothly?
Laser shield drop?
Like if you like laser and then land on the platform, like whichever platform is like
you don't
lower.
need to shield drop. If you like laser onto a low side plat, you could just run off laser.
Okay.
You could get 2 really quick lasers that way.
Uh-huh.
The big thing is like I just treat FOD like Yoshi's most of the time. I mean, obviously the side plats are low a decent chunk of the time, but there's also like at least half the match that's not even an issue, right? They're either not there or they're high up. So I think people like focus so much on the side plats when they're low because that's like the unique part of FOD, but there's also a ton of time where that's not even a factor.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Just something to think about. If you don't like it, don't go there though.
I think I never solo practice on FOD, so I see.
Yeah.
That's kind of an easy thing to just work out. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just dive right into this one. Let's see what we got. Okay, so first thing, this is a very common mistake. Just had someone the other day with this issue.
Oh, you're no longer sharing, by the way.
Oh, sorry. I forget I have to do it every time. Okay.
I got you.
So you miss an aerial, and then you're just like crouching. Not advisable versus Falcon, honestly, because the main thing he's looking for when you're at 20-ish. I mean, I guess he could like space a nair, but even then you're not going to get anything off the crouch, so you might as well be shielding. But the main things he's going to be looking for are grabs and stomps because he wants a knockdown. That's what Falcons are thirsty for.
Just to get the tech chase off?
Yeah, that's how all of his damage building combos are going to start. It's from a knockdown. And you do this down air, and then you shield. So whenever you're in shield, you have to decide between 2 main things. Like, do you want to counter attack them, or do you want to wave dash away, or like move out of shield and reset the situation? So those are like your 2 main options. And I would say here, like, you have no business trying to counterattack because, like, he didn't do anything punishable on your shield, right? So that's what I'm thinking when I see this down air is like, well, why are you going for a down air when you have no reason to go for it? You should be more focused on, here I would recommend wave dash back and, like, try and get a laser out. You want to, like, because you already missed a down air, you want to be thinking, okay, how can I reset this situation and get control back? Because you want to attack from positions of strength. You don't want to just like throw stuff out and hope it hits. So, and then you can see you got punished for that. And sure enough, that's where he's getting his damages from this knockdown. Okay, and then you kind of do, it's different here because you're not doing it out of shield, but you do a dare without really any control. I guess maybe you meant a dash jump, which would have made this better. But obviously you want to avoid shield grabs. Okay. Oh. So if you dare someone out of the air and they don't have like shine stun knocking them upwards, this down air actually causes an impact land, or at least that's what I call it. Some people will call it like a land cancel.
Before you are?
Yeah. So you can see like as soon as he touches the ground, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now he's actionable. So he could actually grab you here, but he just shielded because he wasn't ready.
Right.
It's kind of like that thing in Falco Dittos. I don't know if you are familiar with it.
Crouch cancel dare like at 0%.
Well, you don't even crouch cancel. You jump into the down air and get hit into the ground.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You can do it with stomp too, right? At early percents.
Stomp will knock down at 0.
Oh really?
So you can't. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Let me just decrease my sound. Okay. Okay, decent attempt. Unfortunate snapback. Yeah, one thing you can do if you are really struggling with the snapback and it still might be a while before you get another controller, you can try just pressing the stick more lightly. Okay. So like if you do so when you're dropping down facing right and you want to shoot a laser to the left, if you press the stick all the way left, it's going to snap back to the right almost every time. If you just like tilt the stick left and then let go, it's less likely to snap back.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So like not something you want to rely on long term, but it can kind of like be a good exercise to give you more control over your stick anyways. Nice. Okay, so again, you see you're grabbing ledge, and you I haven't even seen this edge guard, but it's like if I trace the arc that he's going at, it's going to be really hard for you to get up here with a ledge hop bear. Like you might get it still. But now you can see like even if you had assumed, so you're just reading the pullback like you mentioned earlier, and now he's on stage and you're cornered. So this should be like a red flag in your mind. If anyone ever recovers past you, that's a really important scenario because this could be like the game decider, right? To lose this first stock because your edge guard was a hard read on him going to ledge.
If he just shield drop bears right here, I just die, right?
Yeah, if he shield drop bears, I think. I mean, it depends on like how exactly you laser, but like if you're standing here, you can see like you can react to this first half the up B, and then like maybe you're jumping around here, like you're starting your jump, and then you hit him right at the peak. So that's what you're going for. And even if he's like somehow godlike and he like pulls back and he like barely dodges your backer, like I said, you're gonna land first, and then you could just F tilt the ledge or something.
Okay. So
this should be guaranteed death.
Okay. So I just focus more on center stage and just like understand like.
Well, I would specifically think of it as do not grab ledge early. Okay. Because you can, if you think he's gonna do the pullback to ledge, at least stand on stage and then wave dash ledge late, right? Like at least make it tricky. So there's a lot of things in Melee where people will position for something, but they make it so obvious that just positioning for it actually ruins the chance of it happening. It's kind of like the opposite of a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's just like, gotcha. Like maybe you are like standing here trying to up tilt someone running off, and it's like, well, as soon as they see you standing there, they're not going to do the runoff. But maybe if you're dash dancing around and then you wave dash back at the last second, then you can up tilt because they're not expecting it and they do the runoff that you're expecting. So a term IBDW told me when we were doing coaching was posturing. So like you want to posture for the full hop and then also cover ledge. So you're like posturing for both. If you're on ledge, well now he knows this is his recovery. So you have to think about how the opponent's reacting to what you're doing. Ooh, great wave land.
Oh, can you go back really quick? Can I see that again? I was looking away for a second.
So this one, yeah.
So I think I spam that a lot. I think I try to tomahawk waveland back a lot, but I think it helps me a lot sometimes. But
yeah, I think I said it was good, but actually when I saw it again, I was like, oh, you probably should have lasered here. Okay. It's hard to tell if you were able to react in time. And then like his grab was because like the issue with this is if he nared at you, you get hit. But I think that it was interesting at the very least, and it worked. Okay, so this full hop, this is another common rule. Like whenever you have people above you, you have to be very careful about full hopping because unlike Fox, so we talked how Falco's full hop is better for edge guarding. Fox's is much better for pressuring opponents on side plats because his full hop like barely makes it on. Falco's goes really high up. So what'll happen a lot is people will be above you either on the platform or in the air, and if you full hop and go for an aerial and you whiff, you end up above them. So like in this case, he air dodged, so you had a little more time, but you can see you're still like in a bad scenario.
Mhm.
So we're seeing a pattern of you putting yourself in a bad scenario, going for one thing, when you could have just stayed closer towards center and just reacted.
Okay,
So like,
just hold the stage and like keep my options open.
yeah, well, like you want to keep the stage in mind, and like, so here instead of full hopping from here, what you could do is like short hop here, and just double jump bear if he lands straight down, or if you see him pull back, then you can like still land back on the ground and attack the ledge.
Okay.
So keeping your options open as long as possible instead of committing to this full hop nair, which puts you in a bad spot. Oh. Okay. Nice. I love down tilt. Oh, do you have game plans when people are respawning?
Fuck no. Honestly like
I've asked like every student and none of them have game plans, so
yeah,
it's really helpful, I think.
And I get fucked up. Like I'll multi-shine and then get locked out by jumping, and I'll get like need or something, or F smashed by Marth. I get really stupid at this point.
Okay, so yeah, that's just something you should think about. If you're comfortable ledge dashing, obviously like going to ledge will be a pretty good option versus most people.
Mm-hmm.
I also like just standing center stage and then like dashing one way or the other and being tricky. Mm-hmm. And then the general mix-up that will happen is people will drop down and then they'll attack in one direction, and you can either like try and dash under them to dodge their attack, or they'll drop down and then they'll zone reading that dash through.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the most common mix-up you'll see.
I think for the most... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you can go.
I think... I'm not sure what I do here, but I think, especially on Dreamland, I think right now, in my head, I would probably... The thing I would instantly do is like double jump and side B and ledge cancel.
Yeah, I love the full hop side B.
I
wouldn't double jump.
Okay.
In case you get hit, but yeah. Okay, so this case you just full hop up, which is actually not bad.
Okay.
Because I mean, you have to like pay attention to what Falcon's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But so like, he does a runoff. So like, if the only way he's hitting this is if he reads it, probably. Mm-hmm. Maybe he could react here. So maybe do it like a little bit later. But the idea of going to top plat isn't bad. You shouldn't have double jumped out because now I see.
Okay. Yeah.
You, as soon as you double jump, you're out of resources and you're just in the air. And Falcon's pretty good at sharking. Like, he'll trade with your down air, but he can always at least trade with an up air.
Gotcha.
Like, it's really hard to avoid trading. Okay. Okay, so you should be lasering there.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you... If there's ever a situation where a laser is guaranteed, so like he wave dashes away, you should be immediately thinking like, okay, I need a laser to get control. Mm-hmm. Because at any point he could just fly in with a stomp, and you want to be shooting high lasers to prevent that.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, I just started doing high lasers. I know Ginger said it a million times in like all of his analysis videos, but like low lasers are good or like overrated. Like
yeah, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I honestly I knew for the longest time that high lasers were better versus Falcon, but I actually started committing to it when I practiced the immediate laser. So when you do this high laser, you want to short hop, press B immediately as you enter the air, and then you can still fast fall as soon as possible. So you can do full speed lasers, like rapid fire lasers, and still shoot them high. Mm-hmm. So you'll want to practice that specifically.
I actually have a question that it's kind of unrelated to this set, but in general, do you see? Because I have a really bad eye for melee. Like honestly, like the only reason, like I'm not good, but like the only reason I'm as good as I am now is just because I play a lot and I can't really like. I'm very bad at observing it and like understanding what's going on. But like, is Mango doing anything like really crazy new now that like sometimes I just can't perceive it because I'm still fairly new to the game. But like,
so new as in like a tactic?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, that's
Mango's
kind of
tactics are actually like relatively archaic. Like
really.
he like doesn't ledge dash that much, and he relies on the more basic tactics. So the
Hmm.
way I break it down is there's like strategies, which are like your general game plan. So maybe your game plan for Falcon or your strategy is to lock him down with lasers, build damage, and push him off stage to abuse his easy recovery. Like it's easy to
Hmm.
edge guard him. So that would be your strategy. Then your tactic would be like, oh, high lasers to lock him
Hmm.
down. So like you want to lock him down with lasers, and then high lasers would be the specific tactic. I think
Gotcha.
Mango is much more focused on just playing against the opponent,
Hmm.
and he has just years and years of experience. So if someone does do a new tactic, he would just adopt it relatively quickly because that's just one little thing to add to his game.
Right. Okay.
But I think he's much more focused on the player versus player interactions and exerting his pressure on people with like smart hitboxes and stuff.
So with Ginger Mango, what are you noticing that like? Because Ginger just doesn't seem to have like a good grip on that, just playing as Mango yet. Or like I'm sure he like understands why he's losing, but like
Yeah, I
Mango's just
mean,
like a fucking monster. Like, is there like a main like reason that Ginger is just like kind
it's
of unable
it's
to?
really hard to say. I've thought about it a lot, and I also think Ginger has put a lot of thought into it.
Mhm.
What he said recently was he thinks Mango's tech skill is like a big separator. Like Mango's just very consistent,
Yeah.
and he's not going to flub things. I
Mhm.
also think, or I'd be curious what Ginger said if we get the chance to talk about it. But I'd be curious what he thinks of like Mango's predictability, because I feel
Mhm.
like um, even though Ginger is good at mixing up his options, I think he's predictable in the sense that like he like has set mix-ups that he plays, and I'm the same way.
Mhm.
So I've been wondering if like maybe you should just do like crazy F smashes. Like we were joking about Mango doing F smashes versus Kalindi the other day. Like we were
Oh,
watching and
was this when
Mango was
he
just like throwing out F smashes, and we're
was this
like,
when he like
why?
force talked him with F smashes?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
No.
Never mind.
um, but yeah, he was just like throwing out F smashes, or like he would do aerials in place that to me seemed very unsafe. Like I was so sure Kalindi would just react and grab him, but I think Kalindi was so not expecting those that like he
Mhm.
either ran into them or he wasn't ready to whiff punish.
Mhm.
And then it's like so Mango's doing like a dare in place, and Kalindi's thinking, okay, next time I'll whiff punish, and then Mango dares at him, so he's being unpredictable.
Mhm.
That was how I perceived it, but this was just like watching it live. I'd have to go back and analyze to really figure out. But if I talk with Ginger about it, I'll definitely try to remember to let you know
Gotcha.
because I've
Yeah.
been curious about it. Okay. So yeah, there seems to be a lot of scenarios where your opponent's very far away, and I
And I'm
think,
just not lasering.
well, it's almost like you're shielding.
Hmm.
So I'm wondering if you're not looking at your opponent. I know that's an issue for a lot of players, myself included, where like you kind of just like focus on yourself, and then you
Hmm.
only look at your opponent in the peripheral, which sometimes is necessary. Like if you're trying to do a shortened ledge or something, you need to know exactly where you are.
Hmm.
But I'd say for this, you really need to be when you're in neutral. You really need to be looking at what he's actually doing because there's obviously no reason to shield here. And then even if you did shield here, you could have done this laser quicker. It ended up not costing you, but you could see how like it just
If that
barely
was in
avoided.
there, if that was in there, I would have just lost there, right?
Yeah, or if he even just nared a little further. Okay. Whoops. Okay. So you get the tech. Do you just not shield? Oh, you tried to up tilt. That sucks.
Look, when you said that up tilt was, would it? Is it just like a bad up tilt, or was it just,
I mean, it was
just
a wake
had
up
me
up
there?
tilt, so you're kind of just reading that you're execution testing him.
Uh-huh.
Probably not the best to do up till as an execution test, but in this scenario, it was understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could have shielded, but he could have also just easily grabbed you too.
Mm-hmm.
So he just read your up tilt. Okay, so similar to the opponent's side, like we were looking at his respawn invul and how you should avoid it. You should have a game plan for your own respawn invul. So generally, I come down with the goal of like either hitting them, like maybe I'll go for one attack, or I'll try to trap them with lasers and then go for an attack. Those are like the two main options. And the biggest thing is if you attack or whatever, like you go for an attack, it doesn't work out, you always want to make sure you're like reprioritizing center stage before your invul runs out. Because a very common mistake players make is they'll have enough invul to attack like 2 or 3 times, and then they use all of their invul attacking, and if the Falcon like dodges your last attack and you're in the corner and he's here, well, you just screwed yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if that happens. Well, in this one, you just give up too much stage. You're not even pressuring him. Because you can see the Falcon, like, he's on side plat because he's worried about getting hit. He's like, ah! And then he goes, oh, he's just way over there. I'm fine.
So so it just gave up space. I just didn't need to at all, right?
Yeah, you should be
I
pressuring.
ran
If
away
you're
from it.
literally invincible, there's no reason not to at least like nair at him and then return to center with the laser.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's just a good mix-up by him. If you find yourself getting hit by immediate attacks like these, so this is the classic laser mix-up position. This is what you want. From here, you're threatening, shuffle, and you're forcing Falcon to do something. Like, he might have to shield or dash back or gentleman, which is what he does here. So if he does shield, you can like run up grab, you can late aerial pressure. If he dashes back, you can laser in place or approaching laser to cover that. And if he's going to do a gentleman, then you can dash chance punish that. So you can see, like, if you're getting hit by take laser attack here a lot, that means you're never doing the dash chance. You're being predictable with your laser into approach timing. So, and that's why you got hit.
Okay.
So when you notice this, that should be a cue to you, like, okay, I need a dash chance. Because this jab is obviously not safe and neutral. It just means he's hard reading you. So if you like land here with the laser and then dash back, and then you like while you dash back, you're looking at him to react. So you would see him throw out 2 jabs, probably, and then dash back in with the down air. Okay. Oh, was that an accident to back throw? I know that was an accident, but
I don't think so.
Okay.
I just learned that this was the worst time to test this, but I know if they're not paying attention, you can like juggle a Falco like that, like back throw juggle him a little bit.
Yeah, you can kind of do it versus Spaceys. You can't do it versus Falcon.
I think that's my throw game, my grab game is really bad. I think.
Okay.
I just ignored it.
The key to grab game, especially versus Falcon, like if you're ever not sure what to do, just throw them off stage. Especially like you see, he's at 80. So again, you want to keep percents in mind for all of your punishes. At 80%, an F throw is going to send him pretty far off. And what will happen is, you know how like if you knock Falcon off at a kind of low angle, they do like the double jump to ledge, right? So you can read that with run off double jump dare, and just immediately kill him. And the only real way Falcon can get around that, I mean, he can double jump back and up B high, but that's not gonna matter. You're gonna be able to edge guard him. So the only real counter Falcon has to that is to do double jump knee or like double jump up air to protect the ledge. So if Falcon's only way of avoiding death from a run off double jump dare is to double jump aerial off stage and then up B to the ledge, that means you can threaten that, and even if you don't go off stage and do the double jump dare, like he has to be worried about it. And then if you see him whiff that, then you can just grab ledge and edge guard for free. So it's like, it's obviously never going to be like a true 50-50 in Melee, but that's pretty close to a 50-50 where like he feels like he has to guess how you're going to edge guard. And you can see that would be like way better than throwing him towards center stage where he feels more comfortable. Okay, so you're doing a lot of shielding on like after you get out of lag, you're doing a lot of shielding. So we'll see. I mean here, so like kind of hard to react to, but he's whiffing his knee, and then you're still shielding, which is like this one's understandable because he could have actually attacked you, but then you want to move out of shield right away.
Yeah. Okay, so
and then it feels like you waited a little too long. And then boom, you side B on, and now you're shielding again. So maybe think about at least like doing a roll. You probably don't want to spot dodge there versus Falcon, but Falcon, if they go for grab, then the spot dodge is like at least somewhat good.
Can you buffer roll in that situation where you're just landing on the ground?
Yeah.
Jump?
If you're holding like, C stick and then you shield it, it'll buffer a roll.
Gotcha.
Oh, so early aerial there. If you're doing the early aerial because you're just trying to get out of the corner, which is what this might have been, I mean, you can't do like an early aerial, but if you do like a mid-height aerial, you can like cross them up and then up tilt to protect yourself.
Okay.
And that's just better because like you did the fast fall. That's what was strange about this to me was that you do the fast fall and then land in front of him when you're the one in the corner. So maybe just not enough awareness on the fact that you want to get out of the corner. That seems to be another trend.
Yeah, that really fucks me with Marth a lot because I just get like.
Yeah, it's huge versus Marth.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So you hesitated on ledge. Like obviously you can't just like stay on ledge here.
Yeah.
Even if you just did like a regular get up while it was dropping down, you would at least be actionable. And then you can go back on the ledge if you want.
Yeah.
But what if you're just gonna stay on ledge then? You can see he doesn't even threaten you with anything. So like you could have ledge stalled. You could have done a lot of things. Okay. So this is kind of what we went over in that first interaction where he's doing a knee on your shield. I mean, I don't think it was a hard knee. So you actually have frame advantage, but you're in shield. So the limitation is the shield, not the frames. And then you go for a laser.
Yeah.
So like you gave up all your frame advantage and you're at a bad spacing.
Should I wave shine forward? Not wave shine. Wave dash forward and shined?
Yeah, I mean, that could have been good. I mean, if this knee was like a hard knee, that wouldn't have worked because this would have been way more frame safe. So I'm trying to think in the context of if it were a hard knee or like if this were safe pressure. Ultimately, Falcon can dash back and like punish anything you do out of shield. So I think you should just be focused on resetting. Like you can either wave dash back and then laser from here, or wave dash back and like proactively attack. And if you think he'll come in, you could full hop. You could even like maybe just full hop straight to top plat. Though I don't like being above Falcon.
Do you think I would have missed that? Would I have missed this grab if I had shield grab?
In this instance, I think you would have gotten it because it wasn't a hard knee. Okay. But I wouldn't get in the habit of shield grabbing.
Wait, so does a hard knee mean that I just have more shield stun?
Yeah, because you can see like he gets like a soft knee. I think. Let me see. It's hard to tell because there's no sound effect. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a soft knee, but even if it was a hard knee and it still wasn't that unsafe, like the general idea is don't be counterattacking out of shield all the time. You're not in a position of strength, especially like you're this close and you're deciding to laser. So that's kind of how you want to frame it in your mind. Is like that's very unsafe to be lasering this close. If you want to like wave land on the side plat or wave dash back, then do that. Totally fine. The other alternative is if you are going to be aggressive, then like wave dash and shine, because it's at least faster than laser.
Right.
Okay, so we see that again where in this instance you could have just, I mean, you could have jabbed, I guess. That one's tricky because you hit it like double lasered. Okay, make sure you're focusing on your tech chases on platforms. I feel like you missed this a couple times. Where like you're going for the down smash or whatever, but he's at 13. So you should be focused on going for combos at these lower percents. And if you just chase this with like a running shine, or like you don't even need the push off shine, you can just jump shine right here, jump shine wave land. And that's something you can practice in Uncle Punch really easily.
Sorry, so where was I right before I down smashed here?
So you got him with a jump shine, and then you landed on the side plat.
Yeah.
So like you recognized you didn't have time to down air, which was good, and then you're empty landing. So this is just a classic reaction tech chase scenario. If he techs in place, you shine. If he tech rolls left, you shine, and if he tech rolls right, you shine. And you could just cover all of them with shine. If he were like 100%, maybe you do like a run off back air to hit him off stage. But at these low percents, you're always going to be looking for shine pretty much.
Gotcha.
And then if he's going towards center like this, you can go for the shine and then wave land onto top plat.
Okay.
So again, you see how you're like creating all this distance and then not lasering right away? Like he's missing a knee over here. The wave dash is whatever because I don't think you had reacted when you started it. But now it's like there's no reason not to laser here. And you're just like letting him retake center stage. And then you sort of like decide to do it after. So it's almost like you're just one beat behind in your decision making. I'd also say like if you're going to do approaching lasers, you need to be reacting to where they are and have a game plan. So like if you do an approaching laser and Falcon's close to you, what are you going to do? Are you going to grab? Are you going to attack? Are you going to dash back? I think all those would be acceptable, but you shouldn't really be shielding when you're the one approaching.
Yeah.
So I think this is going back to you have a habit of shielding if like you're in any situation where you're comfortable. You're just like, okay, I'll just shield. And then you're doing like attacks out of shield on top of that. So let's see if you do that. That's hard to see. I think maybe you grabbed a frame late. Yeah, so you just grabbed it a split second later. But he had no business even being actionable. Like you should have been dash chancing over here probably. That's what I would have probably done is like do the high laser approach. You got him locked down because even if Falcon's like near you, if there's a laser above him, he can't do any aerials to protect himself. So it's like weird to think about, but even if the laser doesn't hit, it's still protecting you just by virtue of blocking any aerials. So the only thing Falcon could do was like assume it's a high laser and then run under grab you, in which case like dash dancing would be hard to grab anyway.
Yeah, I think at this point my mentality just fucking broke.
Like, why is that?
Just because
do you remember
the first game I was like, I got this. I was just I get very complacent because Melee just makes you so goddamn cocky when you're doing well.
Yeah, when you're popping off.
Yeah. So that first game, like you saw, like I just was really comfortable. You know, I was punishing him decently. Like I just felt really good. And I was like, I felt like I was winning neutral pretty easily without having to eat my brain at all. And then here he just kind of like, you know, he puts like I make a lot of mistakes. He puts the beat down on me. And then the last game, I ended up losing as well. We go to FD, and I just remember being really upset after that game. This is the first tournament I've played though, and like I didn't play a single online tournament until Pog.
Right.
So these are all like really new like emotions, I would say.
Yeah, I mean it's hard, but the biggest thing you can do is just be aware of your like cockiness. Don't even try and stop it because that's going to be too hard at first. You really just want to like be aware, like I don't know if you watch Zane's stream at all, but he has like a exclamation point hubris as a command, which is really funny. Like
what's the output of it?
I forget actually. Why can't I remember? Yeah. The general idea is that like anytime he goes for something that's like he's trying to style on his opponent, people in his chat will do exclamation point hubris.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, in general, I'm really humble about Melee because like I know I'm trash because like it's fucking Melee.
Like, I mean, you don't even want to like be humble either though, because those are both sort of ego related, where you're like, you're comparing yourself to your opponents, but that doesn't benefit you at all. It doesn't matter whether you're better or worse than this Falcon player. What matters is the interactions going on. So just focus on the interactions. Now, obviously, this is way easier said than done. I do it myself almost every time I play. I catch myself saying like, "Oh, this guy's not good. I should be beating him." But then I at least try to like be aware of that. And then over time, it'll happen less and less.
Gotcha.
Okay. Oh, flub to punish. That's a pretty big punish to flub. Just make sure, because you got the wave shine. So maybe were you not sure how to follow up on this?
I think I just missed the dash forward.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that might be your controller.
And it might just be me. I mean, like,
sure.
I think my punish game has a lot to improve on.
Yeah. Do you ever do the combo training in Uncle Punch?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you about that.
It's really good.
Yeah. So, how do you structure yours? Sometimes I'll just go in against a Fox or a Marth.
I do random DI and then I do 100% smash DI because just like at the level I'm at, people are smash DI in almost every hit anyways. And I also think it makes me more reactable. Like I have to react better if they're smash DIing. But for your level, I think you could try it without smash DI and just do random DI, random tech rolls.
What about in terms of like percents? Like, are you just going like, so practicing to 0 and then
if it's a character I can combo from 0, so like Falcon's pretty tough. The spacies I'll do from 0, or like maybe I'll bump them up to 30 if I want to practice different parts. But generally I can full combo spacies anyway. Falcon I would start at like 30% because he's a little beefier. You can't get the true combo. So I guess I would just say like, and like Marth Sheik, I might even go to like 50 or 60 for them because I just want to like practice tech chasing or whatever. So you can really just reverse engineer it where like, okay, well, how do I want to end the combo? I want to end it with like let's say you're practicing versus Marth on FD and you want to do a high percent pillar combo, right? Where he's at like 100 and you're getting the perfect pillar. Start at 90% or whatever and see if you can get that. And then if you're getting that, then start at 70% and see like, okay, can I pillar him up to where I was before?
Okay.
So instead of starting at 0 and like trying to build to a 0 to death, you kind of want to start at the end where it's easier and then go back and see how low of a percent you can start with. That's kind of the mentality. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I never actually thought about it that way. I always just, honestly, I'll just like start at 0.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to start at 0, except for the fact that it's harder to combo at 0 than it is at 90 for floatier characters.
Yeah, especially with Marth, I get really frustrated with comboing Marth.
Well, versus Marth, it's actually just like impossible at 0, right?
Yeah.
So you want to keep that in mind. Whether it's like actually viable. But that's generally how I approach it. I just like combo. I practice different combo pieces, and then try and put them together.
Also, with like fast followers, how do you know off of like when you're like basically just shine daring over and over again, how do you know when to switch it to an up tilt? Because one time my friend just went like I shined and he's like you up tilt there, but he never explained why I up tilt there.
Who told you that? Someone good?
No.
Okay.
Well, better than me for sure. He'd been playing for a long time. I don't know if his name's Orange Julius, but South Carolina sucks.
There might be. I'm trying to think of a situation where you'd prefer to up tilt. There are some, like if you're by the ledge and they're gonna like DI the shine off stage, sometimes it can be better to like up tilt F smash, because the up tilt's like harder to DI away. Normally though, I would just stick with shine versus spaces.
Gotcha.
Versus Peach and like Puff, you definitely want to do some up tilts. Sometimes versus Marth, it just depends.
Okay.
It's just really.
I know that old PPMD forum post about the Marth Falco matchup. He basically said like at some percent you go for up tilts versus shines, but I'm not sure if that's outdated now.
No, I mean that sounds right. That like versus Marth, sometimes you would want to up tilt.
Okay.
So if you're like watching the game back and your replay and you're trying to decide, I would just try to visualize what would happen from each option. So like, okay, if I up tilted here, would I have been able to reach them better than I would have with the shine? And then let that guide your decision.
Gotcha.
So like visualization of future events is a big way of improving, because you can compare options without having to go into Slippy and like actually lab that specific situation, which can be really hard, obviously. So this is that down smash again. You just love that down smash on side plat.
I think I'm missing my jumps there. I think there's meant to be dares. I might have just been down smashing a lot intentionally. I don't quite remember.
Okay.
But typically I only really try to down smash like at ledge.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh.
That's one way to get the edge guard.
Yeah, so I meant to do that.
Okay, so we got respawn again. So I don't recommend side plats or top plat's like a little better because you're higher up. It's like harder for him to full hop up air you. But the side plats he can just short hop up air or like even like immediate double jump nair and then like start pressuring you. I think it feels terrible. But you do this like pretty tricky run in, so that worked. So that's essentially the mix up I was talking about, but you did it from side plat where like you go through them. So you can see he thought you would stay here and you ran through him. And now you have center stage. So once you do that though, you want to be focused on establishing laser control. So maybe like dash away with a laser because he still has a little invol left.
Like a full like.
Yeah, like I would have retreated to here and you would be hitting this with a laser, and you'd be in the driver's seat. Oh, you went through it.
Yeah.
He actually has projectile intangibility on this.
Really?
Yeah, like, so one way he gets under it is actually just like going really low. Let me see.
Right. Oh my god.
He might have gone under. I'm not sure what his hurt box looks like, but I think this also might be the few frames where he's invulnerable to projectiles only. Not sure. But
so even if I was lower, it just wouldn't have mattered. I just got called out.
Probably.
Okay.
But you should be reacting to Raptor Boost anyway. So you see, you had time to shield. I mean, I guess if you thought your laser was going to hit, it makes sense. But I try to like even if yeah, I mean that's just rough. Maybe just assume your laser won't hit and just shield.
Gotcha.
It sucks because like you would kind of give up your advantage if the laser did hit, but I'd rather do that than like get Raptor boosted at 65 because he RNG'd through your laser, or like basically RNG'd. Oh no. Okay, so this is another situation. You're doing the down air out of shield. Like this one worked, but you can see how this is like so dangerous.
Yeah.
If he shield drop up aired, which is what 99% of Falcons would have done here,
Hmm.
um, you're just getting hit, and then you're off stage.
Was the mistake at the point of shielding or at the
Let me
point of
see.
down airing out of shield?
So you're on side plat here. So I want to say shield drop back air, but I think that's a
Yeah.
trap. I think if he runs off, he can punish that.
Okay.
Okay, and you probably missed the shield drop.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
My controller's not particularly good at shield dropping, but honestly, neither am I. Sometimes, like I try. Not to blame
the
the
controller really shouldn't matter for shield dropping on UCF.
Okay.
So I would go practice, like, if you just go from horizontal into the bottom 45-degree notch
Hmm.
and make sure you're not going past, you should be able to grind that out. Even with, like, pretty bad controllers, I find that it's very consistent.
I think for me, it's the 45-degree angle doesn't work. I always if I do it too fast, I might just be overshooting it. Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, I mean, speed doesn't even matter. So
Mhm.
I would test it. So what you can do is like hold right, like
dash
how
the
you
shield.
like do this where you have your shield all the way in the horizontal notch,
Hmm.
and then what you'll do is pause the game, move your stick down to the 45-degree notch, and then unpause the game. And if you spot dodge, that means your notch is way too low.
Okay.
But the whole idea behind UCF is to make it more forgiving.
Right.
Like, so any notch should work.
Hmm.
But it is possible you have like a really bad notch, like maybe
Mhm.
it's like really shifted. But if that's the case, it shouldn't be like that on both sides. Like that would be
Okay.
really rare, maybe even impossible for both notches to be bad at shield dropping. So yeah, just test it and see if it's your controller. But I'm willing to bet you're just going past it, or like you're kind of like erratically pressing the stick instead of smoothly moving to the notch. You can do it quickly, but it has to be smooth, so you're not going past. So yeah, you roll in. So I think the shield is like okay. I mean, really, you should be shining or like running off, because if the Falcon grabs you here, you're gonna get drop zone up aired or whatever.
Mhm.
So that's what I'd be. But like, it's understandable you're worried about getting hit too. So I think the shield is fine. I would just, if you're gonna shield and you think he's not gonna grab, I would just let him hit me, let him hit my shield, and then I slide off
Right.
because I'm facing forward.
So I just got really lucky there.
Yeah, pretty much. Because like
Or I mean,
he went for a down smash, which was too slow, based on when you were attacking. Oh no, I'm guessing that was a mistake.
which part?
These full hop lasers. You did
Oh,
two of
yeah.
them. You did that one,
Yeah.
and then you spot dodge again. So again,
Yeah, that
not
was
sure if
definitely-
that's a panic spot dodge. And you do a roll too.
I think that was meant to be a shield drop.
All three of these. So you do the
Uh,
roll,
Roll
and then
was
you
not
spot
shield.
dodge.
I think the spot dodge was the actual like
Okay.
shield drop. I think the roll was just a stupid roll. Yeah,
And then you
honestly,
can
I
see,
have no explanation.
So like, I mean, it's understandable you're scared.
Yeah.
I get it. But I think it's still important to point out because these are habits that you've had like the whole first two games.
Right.
And now when you're in the high pressure scenario, we see them coming out and it's literally all you can do is use your spaghetti options. So like you whiff the downer, so downer into shield, same thing we've been seeing where you go for an attack, then you shield, and then you do an attack out of shield, which you mess up. And it's just like the laser wasn't even like super bad, but I would prefer wave dash back.
Okay.
Just so you can like reevaluate what he's doing, because you kind of did it at a range where if he zones with an air or a back air, you're just dead. So, and then you shoot another laser the wrong direction. So that's really hurting you, honestly. Whether it's your controller or your tech skill, you need to be able to laser the right way.
Right. Yeah.
And then
Just
you're like trying to aerial. If your head laser had gone the right way, this would be more understandable, but like without the laser control, this dare is never going to hit pretty much.
What do you? Is that a bear?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This entire last stock felt really gross.
Yeah. So you can see like he knows you're going to come in because he just saw you try to laser. So that's why I say establishing the laser control is so huge, because you don't want him getting away with this for free, where he's just like throwing out moves and you're running into them.
Gotcha.
Okay. So we have like 23 minutes left. We could either go over the last Falcon game, see if there's more, or we could go over a different character if you wanted. I don't know if you had a preference. Like if you wanted to get to Marth, we wouldn't be able to fully explore the Marth matchup, but
let's just finish off this set.
Okay.
I think that'll be we can probably
sure
do the other stuff in different sections.
And that'll probably make it easier when we're done and like you want to practice. It'll all be in like the Falcon matchup. I mean, there's some general stuff obviously. So that's usually what I see is students have some like general issues they can work on, and then also some matchup specific. So like the edge guard is a specific instance versus Falcon,
right? And
you can see, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have FD going to town with the lasers, hopefully. Seems like that's the case already.
That was my game plan. I was just like FD lasers. I think though eventually I might just stop lasering because I'm noticing that as a pattern.
Yeah, so I think that's a great game plan, or at least like initial like burst of options just to laser and see what they do. But I think if that's your game plan, you should do that on every stage, right? I mean, sure, there are platforms that Falcon can use, but it's not like he can easily get through lasers, even if you're on Dreamland. Like, what's he going to do? Stand on the side plat? He's probably not going to do that for 8 minutes. So, if this is your game plan on FD, I would apply it to other stages and then adjust accordingly for the platforms. Okay, so laser. I would definitely be taking stage, because like if you're shooting a high approaching laser, unless Falcon's like doing a run up power shield or a run up grab to like read the high laser, he's probably not punishing that. So I would almost, and you could just like do it to here, where it's literally impossible. So definitely close the space, because your ultimate goal is to get him in the corner. That's a Falco strategy versus most characters. Is get them in the corner, and then either like use their limited space to get an opening and get a damage building combo, or just continue to zone them while they're in the corner and or push them off stage. So those are like your general game plans for almost every character. I don't know if there's even an exception to that. So that's what your mindset should be while you're lasering. So the lasers are the tactic to accomplish that strategy.
So on Falcon, it seems pretty straightforward to high laser here and then approach. Against Marth, is that just a mix-up? Like whether he dashes in or like... well, I guess he has to dash in first, right? He can't...
Yeah, I mean, every good player is going to move forward because they don't want to be in the corner. There's no advantage to just staying here.
Right.
Like there's... Like, what is Falcon doing here versus here? He's going to have to do the laser interaction at some point. So this is another common issue players have, is they'll like stay in the corner because they're worried about something, and then it's like, well, the opponent's just going to get near you and then do the same mix-up while you're in the corner. So if you're going to fight a mix-up, you might as well fight it in the center.
Right. Okay. And so
like,
against Marth, I should just go for low lasers to get his dash.
Yeah. So low laser into high laser is pretty good as a starter versus Marth.
To get over power shield.
Yeah, you'll shoot the low laser, and then if he power shields, you're jumping over with a high laser.
Okay.
The other option is just do like a simple approaching laser versus Marth. If he power shields, just take the laser and start dash dancing. And if he doesn't, then like at least you're center stage. So that's like the safer option and probably more recommended. You don't need to like destroy your opponent out the opening every time. And especially for someone like Marth, maybe you don't want to be fighting with this on the screen, right? Because it's like anything could happen, and he's more likely to get a circus show combo on you than you are. So you can see like you did this approaching laser. You could have done that right out the gate. So you do like lasers in place, and then he's already out of the corner. It's kind of like, I don't know if you know anything about chess.
Yeah, I know a little bit.
So like the the beginner strategy in chess is like just get your pieces onto the center of the board.
Right. Just developing.
Yeah, you want to develop your pieces. His pieces developed. He's got some threat. He's got room to retreat if he needed to. You've got nothing so far. You just like push 3 pawns. So
yeah.
And then you can see like you do the approaching laser eventually. Well, why didn't you do that first? And then do the repeated lasers here. Just a minor thing, but it actually is like a pretty important concept. Okay, so we see more. This is great. So when you're lasering, you're supposed to be reacting to your opponent, and you can see like he's jumping, which means your mindset should immediately shift to like sharking mode, where you're trying to hit him coming down. Now Falcon has really good drift, so you have to worry about like back air. I imagine it like a cone. So like there's just a cone of a threat range that he can reach. So right now you're probably within the back air one. It depends on his momentum. Yeah. So sure enough, he comes down with the back air. So let me do that again. So he does this. You laser properly. So with that cone in mind, you want to think about how you're going to anti-air him. So you could like, I think running under here, it's kind of risky because of stomp. So Falcon's like actually pretty good in this scenario.
Could I just jump into the stomp at this point?
Oh, literally jump. I thought you meant into the conversation. I was confused. Like, could I just jump in a sec? Yeah, I mean, you could do that. So like there's a lot of stuff you can do. I think the safest option is just to back off out, like right outside of his range, because I'd say his range like is right here, like the back of your body. So if you retreated like 1 character length and then laser his landing, he's going to be in a really bad laser mix-up. So that's the first thing that comes in my mind. You could run under and go for an up tilt, or you could jump up and try to shine him. The reason I don't like the jump up shine is it's kind of hard to hit Falcon when he's in this curled ball animation. Like in general, his animations are really hard to jump shine. And and the big thing is like if you whiff, you're double jumping in the air and he'll be on the ground. So then you're getting sharked by up airs, or you have to come down and he dash dance grabs you. So I don't like the mix up coming down. If you feel like you can get the shine, so like maybe you, because he does a stomp. Let's say you're like really close to this. If you feel like you can punish this, then the jump shine makes a lot more sense.
Gotcha.
But I don't think you were ready to punish that. Reasonably so. And then we see right after that.
Just no lasers.
Sorry?
Just no lasers.
Yeah. Just because you realized you were actionable. Going for a dare. Whatever, and then like you retreated with like wave dashes and you're not lasering. So again, like if your priority is to get him cornered, that's your game plan. I think like retreating here makes sense because you're worried about him attacking. But then once you're in this situation, if your goal is to corner him, you want to go towards him, or at least like laser, right? Do you think there's anything you're like worried about here? Are you worried about like full extended nairs or something?
Honestly, probably not. I don't think I'm.
You're just not in that frame of mind?
Yeah.
Okay.
I frankly, at this point, I think I'm just autopiloting completely. I think this entire game is probably autopilot. I'm really bad about autopilot. I've played League of Legends for like 11 years, and I'm still like gold because I'll when I start thinking, I'll start climbing, and then I'll get complacent, and I'll just like fall back down, like, and I just juggle up and down in gold. But I've been playing this game forever. Yeah. And I just haven't gotten any better. I think autopiloting is something that.
Yeah. So I think the way around autopiloting is, I mean, it's not even like you stop autopiloting in a sense. You just want to autopilot good mix-ups. Like if you can get to that point, you'll at least like. I mean, you still at some point have to be consciously thinking, but you could develop way better autopilot. So, like, the example would be, like, if you're at this range where you could safely laser, well, I would, quote-unquote, autopilot a laser, you know?
Right.
Like, I wouldn't think about this. I would just be like, oh, there's room. Boom, hit the laser. maybe even a protein laser at this range.
Mhm.
So the way you kind of want to think of it is improvement can just be, at least for your level, improvement can be just be about like pattern recognition or like situational recognition where you recognize the situation and then you perform the appropriate action. So like there's not always going to be one thing you should do, and even here like it's debatable whether you should turn around laser right here or approaching laser. So like there are arguments to both, but if you can at least get like some default response to each situation, that'll help you a ton.
Gotcha.
Instead of like the aerial and then also doing the shield. Like if you do this aerial, you could at least like dash back, right? But you're just
And
like
instead of rolling there, so let's say like we freeze at that where I shielded there. Instead of rolling back here, what I'm not thinking is just dash right or wave dash right and then retreating laser a little bit.
Yeah, so
or just, like,
when you're spacing on this side, it seems like there's a lot of situations where you had the chance to wave dash right and reset with like a laser, and you're not taking those. So that's like a more specific response you can try implementing.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, I
and
dash
then
attack a bit at low percents.
yeah, I was gonna say at low percent, it's not even gonna hit. Yeah, for Falco versus Falcon, I'd say the big things are like if you can nair him out of the air. Sometimes up tilt or back air can work out of the air, but not really at low percent. So nairing him out of the air so that you can convert into shine, daring him while he's on the ground, and then just shining. Those are your three main openings. And like you can F throw or like you can actually down throw tech chase with a hard read.
Okay.
It's a pretty tight timing, but you can do it consistently. So like if you get a down throw at low percent, and as long as they're not on a platform where they can slide off, you can try that. Up throw can also be good, like up throw, and like it doesn't feel great, but you can shark him kind of how we were talking before, where like evaluate where his cone of threat range is, and then just play outside of that, or like hard read him.
Do you like up throw up air on Falco? I do that a lot. But
you mean as Falco or against Falcon?
Yeah, as Falco against like any of the fast fallers.
Oh no, I don't do up air against any of the fast fallers.
Did you go for shine?
Yeah, I go for up throw shine or up throw nair maybe.
Okay.
So like versus Fox, you can do up throw nair shine a lot of the time and get like a grounded shine instead of an airborne one. More recently though, I've just been yeeting people into the corner. Like I haven't even been trying to up throw because or if I do up throw, I'm like just maybe I'll do like up throw versus a fox and then like turn around up tilt. That's something you could do. And then like if you feel like, oh, they're just going to drift away to avoid my up tilt, well then that means they're just like drifting into the corner. So like if you grabbed him here and you up throw a fox here and then he's just drifting away, that means you could just like approaching laser and then put him in a really bad laser mix-up. So a lot of Falco's interactions, you can't get true punches, but what you can do is put them in another mix-up or even like the same mix-up you were just had him in, but in way worse stage positioning. So like, let's say you up throw up air Falcon here and he just drifts away because he's worried about like you anti-airing in this space. Well, that just means you can like close the space with another laser, and it's the same situation. He's still worried about getting grabbed, but now he's worried about getting thrown off stage. And if he rolls in, like that's going to give you your beefy combo. So it can feel like the up throw didn't do anything, but the up throw took away his space, which took away his options. And that's why I emphasize stage control so much, because like when you limit their options, Falco's lower speed becomes almost a non-factor. Like that's his biggest weakness in most matchups is he's way slower than the opponent, except for it's like Peach and then kind of Puff. Even Puff is like faster in the air than Falco's on the ground, or at least it feels like that. So yeah, And there's another down smash. I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
Oh,
honestly,
one thing to know.
Huh?
Let me see. Yeah, you're just turning around and down smashing. I can't imagine what else that was, unless you tried to
I
smash
think
turn, or you tried to dash at him and down air.
I think so. I don't think I might just be down smashing him because I'm being fucking stupid.
Yeah,
and, like,
just
panicking
something
and
to keep in mind. Like when you're playing and you see yourself down smash in neutral at like low percents, definitely say, hold on, what did I just try to do? Because that's really killing you. Okay. So versus this, if you get this mistech, dash chance is really good to beat out get up attacks.
Okay.
Just like dash chance near them, and you'll be surprised people will get up attack a lot just when they see that motion. Because like they see this, and they go, "Oh God, I'm gonna get hit."
Yeah.
So if this was just like a dash chance, then you're better off.
So, when what's at this point? What's just the best thing to punish the get up attack? If I did that dash attack, would it just be a dare?
Yeah, I mean, so it actually might be shine.
Just
I would have down aired, but thinking about that, that's actually something I should probably fix. Is like, because if you down air here, a good player would just tech roll away. So like you could down air, or like maybe even tech roll in. So like super theory bros, if you down air this, they tech roll in, and you have frame advantage. Like you'd be able to laser, but they wouldn't be in the worst position. The other option is you could punch it with nair, and you're more likely to hit them to the left. It'd be harder for them to like ground tech it. The optimal punish would probably be to empty land shine. Or like you could either running shine or just like short hop in empty land shine, and then go for a proper combo.
So with empty land shine, is that just to like? Is that any faster than like a running shine?
No, I feel like it would just be easier to get around the end of the get up attack.
Okay.
That's why I probably don't do it. Is it's hard. So like you see Falcon kicking his legs up. So like I'd have to get around his legs and still shine in time, which isn't a whole lot of frames. But I think you could do it. So
this
if you down air though, I wouldn't worry about like maybe got too complex there. Just go for the down air, and like if they tech roll, like you're in a good position.
Gotcha.
So like keep it simple until you're comfortable doing the dash chance. Okay.
I think that was supposed to be a shine and a shield.
Okay.
And I just
I'm more worried about this, where like you're doing like this F tilt a lot. So like you get hit, you're kind of protecting yourself with this, I guess. But it's pretty punishable, and then like you go and shield right after because you know it's punishable. So I'd rather see you like staying mobile than doing this pattern of attack into shield. Into hopefully you don't like spot dodge or roll here. Okay, you spot dodge. Maybe trying to shine out a shield or dare.
Yeah.
But you see like he got a super late nair on your shield because you're just holding shield. So like when you see this, you should be able to react to this and wave dash back. So another situation where you could have wave dashed back and like reset the situation. Or you can even like wave dash under and go for a more proactive up tilt, but I think that's kind of risky. But just like reacting to people jumping is so huge. So many players don't react to stuff like this, and this is terrible. Like I promise you it's not good. Because he's just like, there was no reason to do it. You weren't threatening anything on the ground.
If in that situation, should I just dash, like go right underneath him and like
yeah, I mean if you hadn't shielded, this is another problem with shielding, is like you can't dash now. Like you can, if you're jumping, you only have a small cone above you, a small cone of range where you can jump, and that's what's forcing you to have to wave dash back or wave dash forward. But if you hadn't shielded, you could have just called this out with a full hop back air or something, or a short hop up air even. Both of those would be possible.
So we have like 4 minutes left. So if we can just move away from the replays for now. I just kind of want to just see like have like really specific things to just act on. For
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Let me think.
So combo practice definitely seems like something that I should work on
Yeah, so
a lot.
combo practice,
Um,
being aware. I normally write this stuff down and send it to
mhm.
students, but we can go
Okay.
over it a little. So being aware of tech skill flubs, tech
Mhm.
flubs, because you like even if it's your controller, you need to know if it's your controller or not.
Right.
So for the tech flubs, it was missed dashes, down smashes. What else was there? Um,
Currently, I'm having a really bad problem with getting stuck in Shine, and it's really frustrating because I don't know what to do about it.
are
It's,
you
it's just like
turning around in Shine?
uh, I don't think so. I think I'm just missing my jump cancel, uh, and I just have no idea what to do about it because like this replay is about like a month and a half old, and a lot of my shines felt fine, but like now recently for some reason I'm just getting stuck in Shine all the time.
I would double
And
check that you're not turning around
okay.
because the only other way to get stuck in Shine is to like either take obnoxiously long, like 10 plus frames. I
Hmm.
think you have like 10 frames to jump cancel your Shine after letting go of B.
Hmm.
And if that's not the issue, the only other way you could get stuck in Shine is if you are pressing Y too early. Like if you're
Okay.
going from B to Y in like 1 to 2 frames,
Hmm.
which is insane. Like that's really
Yeah.
hard to do, to
Yeah. I
intentionally
don't.
miss a jump cancel.
Right.
So it's
Um.
probably you're turning around and not realizing it.
So wait, what happens when you turn around?
So
Does
when
it just
you
lock
turn
out again?
around for 3 frames, you're in a Shine turnaround animation and you can't jump.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that was instant. Okay, never mind.
Nope.
Yeah.
That is 3 frames.
Okay.
And you can like if you want to see it for yourself, you can go into 20xx.
Right.
So yeah, stuck in Shine. I mean, just any tech flub you notice,
Hmm.
it's worth thinking about. So we had combo practice. I guess we don't really need more specifics on that. I think you kind of know.
Yeah.
Establishing laser control when you're at a distance,
Hmm.
at safe distances. Um, what else did we have? Avoid attack into shield pattern. So not whiffing, if you're whiffing aerials, maybe add in some up tilts after or some dashaways. You don't want to always be shielding.
Hmm.
Oh, shield drop was the other one. The other tech flub. Invol. Yeah, respawn invol.
Hmm.
Strats for offense and defense. So having an idea of what you want to do when you're dropping down, how to lock them down with lasers. Let me think. Oh, edge guard for sure, because that's like a big one.
Right.
It only came up a couple times because you weren't like hitting them high off stage that often.
Hmm.
But once you start like hitting better combos and getting them to higher percents, they're going to end up off stage way more. And those edge guards matter. And then there was throw Falcon off stage. So practice F throw by ledge into double jump dare. And then just do that until they counter that with a double jump up air or something.
Hmm.
And then if you notice a Falcon do that, it's actually really rare. Almost no Falcons will hit you. And this is, you have to like evaluate whether you have time to do the F throw and then run off double jump dare. Because like depending on
Hmm.
how close to the stage you are and what percent they're at, it'll change. If you don't have time, you can also do run off shine. But I find that kind of hard to hit on Falcon. Sort of
Hmm.
like how I mentioned before. It's hard to like hit his animation.
Do you go for like the Shine like instant dare?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Or you can just shine even double jump Waveland back on and then just hit him back off. But I think that's too risky versus Falcon, honestly. Versus Fox and Falco, it's pretty consistent. You can like react to their double jump and cover them trying to double jump sweet spot to ledge. But versus Falcon, his double jump can just like grab the ledge from so far away that, and then like if you miss the shine, by the time you like jump back to get on stage, like he's already hit you with a ledge hop aerial. Like he could ledge hop up air and just kill you. So F throw by ledge into double jump there, and then let's see, what else was there? There was one more thing. Yeah, well, I think that's most of it. I'll try and go back through and send the rest of the notes. That's usually what I do, is like just to like have a full-fledged homework assignment or whatever. But I think that should be enough.
Sure.
To get you started.
If you gotta go, feel free to.
No, I'm chilling.
So in the future, if I ever want to book sessions with you again, would you prefer I do it directly through you, or should I just go through Metafy?
Just through Metafy, yeah.
Okay.
Just because that's easier. Great. And you can use. Did I tell you about the code?
No.
Okay, so there's a Smash World Tour promo. And that'll give you 10% off. Not sure how long it's going for, but probably till the end of the tour, I guess.
Awesome. Sweet.
So, just an extra little incentive.
Gotcha.
Let me think. What else is there?
Where do you get your controller from, by the way?
The one I have now, I'm using, is from NES.
Okay.
The one before that, though, I just bought off eBay. That's honestly the best place to get controllers if you don't have like.
Yeah,
buku dollars.
Yeah, I actually don't. I think I probably don't mind just going in on a very nice controller right now, just because.
Right.
I'm having a lot of fun playing this game, and I'm having a lot of fun like getting better at it, and I think it's totally worth like the hobby. I'm not like trying to compete seriously, unless it just happens that I have a full-time job, so it's never going to work out. But I'm having really fun. I'm having a lot of fun playing this game, and I feel like a better controller would only like enhance that.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely worth the money if you get it from a reputable person. I can link you. There's like a site that has like all the good vendors.
Oh yeah, man! I definitely. Is it top-notch controllers?
No, I mean top-notch controllers would be like one person on here, but this is like all sorts of different people. It's just like a giant Excel sheet with like 50 different people. So you can look through that and find one you like.
And did you just contact them directly?
Yeah.
Discord?
They all have like different ways of doing it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, you should be able to get one like somewhat affordable. Like mine was like $340, but I got like a paracord and custom buttons and a clear shell and all this other stuff. So
okay.
Yeah, depending on what you want, it shouldn't be too expensive.
Gotcha. Well, I think that pretty much covers everything, all my questions for today. I'll probably. Awesome. Is there another good tournament coming up anytime soon?
I was actually wondering if there was going to be one today.
Melee. Well, the next one is probably going to be Gallant, which is 2 weeks from now.
Oh yeah, I'm signed up for that one. That's like the 23rd or something. I was looking for one today.
If you don't mind me asking, what part of the states do you live in?
I'm in Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah, I go to Xanadu all the time.
Okay, were you going there during like 2019 summer?
Going to Xanadu?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I probably was.
Huh? We might have bumped into each other. I just met this one guy, Blank Note, who like taught me everything. Like not everything, but like he just like gave me all the beginner like advice on how to play Falco, and I still like But it got me this far, but I still like have a lot more work to go and get into. But he was like the first person who really like said like, all right, dude, you're making like a shit ton of mistakes. Like Falco is just a punish game, like dude, and your punish game is ass.
Gotcha.
Like, just
yeah.
go home and punish game all day. Like, but yeah.
Yeah, I will just throw on like a TV show on my second monitor, and I'll just practice tech skill or combos, and like I'll almost like kind of ignore the show, but it's just like a good excuse to sit down for 40 minutes.
Right.
Or like 20 minutes, depending on what show you're watching. Like, if you need something to like keep you at least somewhat focused, or like not focused, it just gives you like a set time to work on tech skill. And then like if you need to take a break, you can sort of just like look over at the other screen and just sort of chill for a minute. But I would say like if you're trying to practice something specific, don't have something distracting like that going on. But I think if you're just practicing combos, a lot of it will be like building it into your subconscious. Like you already know what to do, you just need to repeat it over and over. So that can be a good method.
Okay.
But yeah, if you have any other questions, or like let's say you're in you're looking back over a VOD and there's a situation where you're like, I wasn't quite sure what to do here, you can just screenshot it and just send it over to me, and I'll let you know what I think.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate
That's like a really efficient way of just getting some feedback. So don't be afraid to do it.
Gotcha. Yeah. I definitely will take that, use that to my advantage.
Awesome.
But
Well,
yeah, man,
I will talk to you later.
That was a great session. You have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.